Let me tell you something, people. This is yet another piece of evidence that Oprah Winfrey is fake news. News people do not require the campaign to pay us so we can interview them. I did a town hall of...
We all know what we're voting against. So I want to end by reminding you about a few things that we're voting for. We are voting to defend and protect the Constitution of the United States. We are voting for values. We are voting for values and integrity.
Oprah just got hit with a reality check, and Megyn Kelly brought the receipts. She didn't show up for a friendly chat. She showed up swinging, the way a brutally honest friend tells you your outfit is trash before the party. This wasn't shade. It was demolition, verbal wrecking balls, zero chill. Oprah's untouchable aura? Megyn just renamed it the Oprah Winfrey Show.
In this election, when I sat down with the Tim Walz Stolen Valor former colleagues, do you think I charged them to set up the set? No, I didn't. Megyn Kelly paid for it. The Megyn Kelly Show, along with SiriusXM. F these. What is happening here? It's just a way of lining your pocket. Like, wink, wink, Oprah, sure would be great if you would set up this town hall for us and we'll pay you $1 million for your beautiful set. And then maybe you could endorse.
For decades, Oprah polished her image until it gleamed like a Hallmark ornament. She wasn't just a host. She was a brand, a lifestyle, a mood board stitched together with book clubs, spiritual quotes, and car giveaways. Society treated her like a moral GPS pointing to kale smoothies and overpriced bath towels.
I used to love Oprah, like most of us who grew up when we did. And only now did I realize I've been getting spoon-fed propaganda from this woman for years. I always took her little setup packages as gospel. You know, before I was a reporter, I never even thought to question whether Oprah might be intentionally misleading me. Then last night, the dawn came and I was like, oh my God, she is not a reporter. She's a propagandist. She's trying to shove messaging down my throat of whatever she believes, not what's real. So
she built her empire on being untouchable, a billionaire goddess wrapped in you get a car kindness. But pedestals make the fall more entertaining. Megyn didn't show up with a feather to poke holes in Oprah's legacy. She came with a sledgehammer, slicing through PR fluff like a hot knife through vegan butter.
You remember she did that kind of factual interview after the quote documentary of Michael Jackson?
Yes.
That was so dishonest.
Yes.
She did not raise any of those accusers' serious compromising facts when she had them right there. Maybe they're telling the truth, maybe they're not. But as a journalist, you have to at least ask. You know, you've got multiple lawsuits against his estate, sir. Might that be an incentive to lie? Didn't ask. You've got these accusations against him. You had a book that you were supposed to produce about Michael Jackson in the context of litigation where you were required to turn this stuff over, and you lied saying that you didn't have it. And you only got found out because Random House and these other publishers admitted you shopped it to them and turned over the metadata to Michael Jackson's estate.
It's poetic, really. Oprah, queen of cozy optimism, wrapped in cardigans and candlelight. Megyn, sharp, blunt, and allergic to sacred cows. Oprah is comfort food. Megyn is black coffee, bitter, strong, necessary. Watching them collide feels like inviting a Navy SEAL to run your yoga retreat.
When was the last time Oprah actually spent time hanging out with a working class person in America? She's on her Montecito estate with one of the most beautiful mansions known to man. And that is why she did not follow up with Kamala Harris in response to that stupid gun question with, well, you're on camera saying that you favor mandatory gun buybacks. So how would that work? The Oprah enthusiasm worked when it was genuine. When she first hit the scene in like the 1980s and she was fresh out of Chicago, she was in Chicago for the launch of her national talk show. She was something electric and interesting and authentic, you know? I miss fat Oprah. She was just genuine. Now this thin Ozempic Oprah has lost, along with the pounds, her heart.
Oprah's empire became almost a religion. Her show was a temple where guests confessed, audiences wept, and viewers felt spiritually cleansed. She launched careers, sold millions of books, and turned therapy into entertainment. Politicians begged for her blessing. She wasn't just a host, she was the high priestess of American culture. But what happens when the high priestess forgets her own gospel? Megyn showed up to ask.
Her schoolgirl affectations and body movements. Like, okay, ready? Here it is. Okay. She raises herself off her chair. Like, I'm just really excited. I'm really excited about this. Okay.
You're so right.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you something you haven't heard yet.
Yeah.
I'm going to blow your mind.
Okay. Right, like that.
Right.
The Spark. Another sweeping Oprah sermon on society, dripping with Instagram deep wisdom. Most people nod politely because who argues with Oprah? Megyn did. She lined up Oprah's glossy speeches against reality and pointed at the contradictions. It wasn't critique, it was a demolition derby.
One of the other things that's unique to America, for better or worse, is the huge population of obese people. And we're going to end this on a lighter note. It's a pun. It's not really a lighter note. Well, it kind of actually is a lighter note. Oprah is admitting she's on Ozempic. And I know this is, our team asked you what was interesting to you today. This was on your list and mine. Because of course, you've done a lot of shows on Ozempic. I've listened to some of them. We've talked about this, there's a bunch of drugs. That's just one of the name brands. And now she said she originally wouldn't go on it because she thought it would be, quote, cheating. But now she's admitted that her recent weight loss is due to Ozempic. So what do you...
One is about vibes. The other is confrontation. Oprah lights candles and leads a gratitude meditation. Megyn flips on the fluorescent lights and asks why we're pretending. Watching Megyn dissect Oprah's aura felt like watching a balloon pop in slow motion. Loud, shocking, inevitable.
Was very compromised, and she had him right after the documentary. It aired on HBO right after. Didn't ask a question. Then she gets Meghan Markle. That was another propaganda fest where she didn't even try to pretend to be a journalist. And then we get the debacle last night.
Yes. So, great point about the Michael Jackson thing. Because Oprah is a survivor of childhood sexual abuse, right? You would think anyone, especially a journalist coming from that background, would view him with a bit more of a jaundiced eye rather than be in the business of image rehabilitation for this guy.
No, but she wasn't.
And Megyn didn't just toss sass. She brought evidence. Oprah's empire of glitter. Megyn showed it was papier-mâché. She highlighted the hypocrisy, preaching humility while flying private jets and parading billion-dollar mansions. Self-help or sales pitch? Megyn asked the question no one dared.
And the accusers may or may not have had this experience with Michael Jackson.
Oh, you're talking about the HBO doc?
Yes. But she failed to bring up prior inconsistencies in their stories that really did compromise their stories. I don't know what happened.
I understand what you're saying.
So
okay,
I'm just saying, as a journalist, which she purports to be,
right,
it was a complete fail.
Right.
And then she committed the same failure with Meghan Markle,
yes,
where she didn't press any of her claims of racism in the royal family. And now we have the ultimate culmination of her journalistic fails, right? Where she has the potential next president of the United States. And not only does she not ask her hard questions, the whole thing was an attempted rehab and repackaging of her.
That town hall I thought was so suspicious because...
Then she hit Oprah's real power, politics. Oprah's endorsements tilt elections. Her opinions ripple like gospel. She became democracy's unofficial influencer. Megyn asked, why should one billionaire host hold that much sway? The slap echoed. Oprah stopped looking like a guide and started looking like a puppeteer.
This clip has been circulating on social media. I saw it on X a couple of times. And it was back when we still liked Oprah in 1988, when she was still somewhat self-deprecating and likable. Not her billionaire actress self, like, what? With Meghan Markle. What? They wanted to know how dark your baby was gonna... What? We don't like that version. However, fat, fun Oprah was great. So Oprah had Trump on in 1988 when he was, by my math, 41 years old. Wow. And listen to this exchange. What would you...
Megyn didn't tiptoe. No soft disclaimers. She swung facts like baseball bats. Lighting a match in Oprah-scented Candle Cathedral, she shouted, "These stained glass windows are fake." The backlash split the internet, half defending Oprah with memes, half cheering Megyn with popcorn.
Oprah, I've talked about it on my podcast with Peter Attia. I talk about it to anyone who will listen. I used Ozempic. I lost 15 pounds on it. I was on the lowest dose, and it was incredibly effective. And, I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. No one should follow my medical advice. But there are horribly, horribly deleterious effects from being massively overweight. And now the fact that people who have struggled for an extremely long time, as Oprah's talked about struggling, I mean, that's been a huge part of her public persona, can take a drug that is so unbelievably effective. Good for her. And I don't know if you agree or not, but I think that it's a good thing to take the stigma away from.
Oprah's defenders cried, "She's only human." But that was the point. If she's only human, why treat her like a flawless deity? Megyn's takedown proved the image was just frosting. Beneath it, a messy, crumbly cake like everyone else's. Fans were horrified, but also fascinated.
I really feel like she's just out of step with where broadcasting has gone since she was a star. It's not screaming in people's faces. She's out of touch.
Thanks for joining us for this very special event, Unite for America! Hope and joy rising. And there's been can you feel it? You can feel it. You can feel it. You can feel it. We can feel it. Chefs for Kamala, love that group. Republicans for Harris, love that group even more.
And Oprah herself. Imagine running a perfectly choreographed Broadway show when someone storms the stage with a megaphone yelling, "This is nonsense." That's what Megyn did, shattering the illusion. Once the curtain dropped, Oprah wasn't a goddess. She was just another billionaire with contradictions. And if Oprah isn't above scrutiny, then maybe no one is.